Hi there, welcome to this equipment tip video. This one's about grip, as you probably guessed. And if your grips are starting to feel a bit worn, or you're not quite sure if they're the right grips for you, then this is a great time of year to start thinking about it. Winter golf, it's really important you've got good grips and consistent grips on your clubs. Grips are so important for so many reasons, but here's how I would approach checking someone for grip. Okay, so I've got a little ruler here, and the first thing we'll do is we'll measure their first crease to the longest finger, okay, and then we'll measure the finger length here as well. Okay, that will give me a good idea of the size of grip that might be appropriate. The other thing we'll look at is actually the thickness of someone's hand. It might be, I've got fairly medium size or thickness of hand there, but you can have people who've got the same measurements of me in terms of length of finger and full length of hand, but actually got much thicker hand, and therefore actually there's less space on the inside of the grip, so actually you don't need quite as large grips. Yeah. Same thing, if it's thinner hand, actually there's more room on the inside to actually grip the club, so that's a factor in choosing the right grip for you. Now I've got loads of different models here, okay, and the things we're thinking about, the biggest thing is you want consistency from club to club. There's so many times I look through people's bags and they've got different grips on different clubs. Okay, you might have bought a club at a later date, it's got a different grip in it, they haven't really given it too much thought. So that's one thing, consistency through the set is really important. And then what style do you have? You've got to think about texture, and you're thinking about the tension in the grip. How tightly do you grip it, and why do you grip it tightly? It might be in your nature to grip it tightly, or you might be gripping it tightly because you don't feel secure, or it's the wrong size. If the grip's too thin, then you tend to grip a little bit more tightly than if it's too thick, and vice versa. If it's too thick, you don't grip tightly enough, and your hands can't work in the optimum way in terms of helping you square the club face and hitting good, consistent shots, getting to the bottom of the golf ball. So size is really important, and texture is really important for you to feel comfortable and secure. If you've got a swing which you go to the top and you've got a powerful change of direction here, you might be putting the grip under a lot of stress. So therefore, you might want a grip with less torque in it, less twist in it, yeah? Or you might have a slow rhythmical swing, less tension, less stress on the way down, and you actually might appreciate the feel of something with a little bit more feel about it, a little bit more softness about it, okay? So these are the sort of things you need to consider. So if you work our way through here, here's the CP2, this is a wrap grip, okay? The CP2 wrap, you can see it has some tread down here, which actually makes it quite effective, a little bit like a car tyre in terms of the wet, okay? But this has got quite a nice soft texture, but the ridge in the grip actually makes it quite tight, doesn't twist too much. In comparison to the Pro model, okay, which doesn't have as much tread, this is the CP2 Pro. Nice soft tactile grip, feels really good in the hands, yet it has a little bit more twist, although it does have an inner core which stops that from going too much. Compare that to something like the Tour wrap here. This one has a similar look to it to the first one I showed you. It's got that wrap and that tread, but not anywhere near as good in the wet, in my opinion, and also has a bit more torque in it as well, okay? So good for some, not for others. If you then want something, if you do have quite a heavy change of direction, you might want something with a little bit of chord in it, okay? Like this is the MCC Plus 4. This has got a chord section which has less torque in it, less twist, because that's in your top hand, that's where there's more pressure, and in the bottom hand it's a much softer, more tactile material, yeah, so for the field shots, chipping around the green, you can feel it a little bit more, and it's more pleasant and a better sensation. So that's a really popular grip. I find that goes really well. This particular model, the Plus 4, it has a thicker taper here, a little bit thicker underneath the right hand. Not good for some, good for others. If you wanted to go for something which was particularly good in the wet, and if you've got a tight grip, if you're playing a lot of golf, so your hands are relatively durable, yeah, rough hands, then you could go for something with a bit more cord in it. Okay, so we've got a Lambkin, this is a standard Lambkin crossline grip with full cord in it. You can see the rope running through the thread running through it. That makes it particularly good in the wet, but it is quite rough. So if you're practicing a lot, or if you're not playing a lot, and you're going out with grips like this, that can actually blister you up a little bit. So be careful, but that's a very popular style with strong, harder hitters who are playing a lot of golf. If you could go for something that's kind of middle of the road, good all-rounder if you like, you could go for the Tour Velvet. Very popular grip when I was on tours, probably equated for about 60% of usage out there. So nice tactile material, not too much twist, but a soft feeling grip and very durable, lasts a long time. So good grip to go for, and probably the least of the expensive ones. Another example we've got here is, well, this is a nice soft material, but with a bit less torque in it. Okay, so this is the Z grip. Okay, Golf Pride Z grip. Okay, that's got some tread in it, but actually still got a similar material to the Tour Velvet, but the tread itself gives it a little bit less twist, a little bit more security. So lots of things to consider about in terms of grip choice, grip model. You also need to think about things like the whether it's a round grip or whether it actually has a rib down the side of it. Okay, this is an external rib. Okay, that's actually a flat section underneath, which actually makes it very easy for you to tell if the grip is in the right place. You can feel it's in the right place or not. Sometimes you can have that rib on the inside of the grip, which does the same thing, it's just not visible. This is just like a little bit more of a marketing tactic to actually make it more visible, and make people more aware of it, that it's actually a choice. The other thing you think about is size. Is it mid-size? Is it jumbo? Is it a standard size, either a 58 mouth size? So this section here actually has a measurement, okay? It's either 58 or a 60 is a fairly standard mouth size, and 60 is a little bit thinner than the 58. So do you go for a 60 or a 58? Yeah, and then do you have extra wraps of tape underneath it just to thicken it out a little bit, or not? All these things come down to the size measurement we looked at first of all, the thickness, the tension, your style of swing. All these are factors to consider when you are choosing grip. All right. So before you get new grips, have a little think about it. Give us a call, chat to us. We can give you some advice, and we can go through all these things with you and help you make a good choice. All right. But for the winter, it's a really good idea, especially if your grips are starting to get a bit worn, to think about that now, and maybe get it tested, and we can come out, check all these out, and see which suits you best. All right. Anyway, hope that helps, and I'll speak to you soon.